in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
Looks like we're here.
If you need a drink, just holler.
Oh, Ysolda. Didn't expect to see you here. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is so.
Need more experience
Nah,
if I'm going
I
to
don't
run
think
an
so.
inn someday.
So I take this as some training then? Well, I'll be glad to be one of your first customers.
Thank you.
So, what drinks do you have on the menu?
Have you tried the wine? It's better than anything in the Blue Palace.
You have fine wine? I didn't expect that, but okay. But what do you think? Are you in the mood for something fancy or something casual?
No, not yet. But I will. Yes. I just have
Oh, I see. Well, you are with royalty. Me, really. Give us your best wine, and it's my treat for tonight.
Sure thing.
Cheers to everything you've done for me and the world.
Coin always greases the wheels.
You really are a numbnut. I got cured, remember? So, what's on your mind?
It would seem so. My problem.
Ugh, I swear. Sometimes it feels like you take courtship tips from Sheogorath.
It can be helped.
Did you know that, at least according to legend, the Sheogorath we have now was actually the champion of Cyrodiil? And you might take his place. I could endorse
How
you.
can I argue with that?
It would seem so.
You expect me to believe that?
Yes.
Yes, because that's just what I do. It's fun. Maybe it's the Daedra in me, but being naughty every now and then wouldn't hurt, right? Especially in bed.
You are correct.
Not my problem.
I think you'll have to see for yourself.
Can't be.
Now, let me try. Picture this. I lay my eyes on your charming, handsome
Can I argue with
face.
that?
I've heard you are an experienced adventurer. Could you help me? I'd like to explore this land. But first, your body.
No, I don't think so.
Pretty horrible, isn't it? I guess we both have a talent when it comes to this.
How can I argue with that?
Ragnar the Red. Oh, there once was a hero.
Yeah,
named Ragnar.
really. I don't think this is everyone's idea of flirting. But hey, it works for me. I suppose I'm a little eccentric, and I think it might be the same with you.
You expect me to believe that?
Now, this 1,000-year-old vampire relic is beckoning you, mighty warrior. You wonder what she's saying? Lean in closer and find out.
Came crashing and slapped. Children of Skyrim, and we fight all our lives.
Not my problem. It would seem so.
Sovngarde beckons, every one of us dies.
It can't be helped. Nah, I don't think so.
But this land is ours, and we'll see it wiped clean.
That is so.
The scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams.
Indeed.
Yes.
It is so.
Sadia, wake up there. Yes, Mom.
How can I argue?
Yes.
Would seem so.
Nah, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
You want a drink?
You expect me to believe that?
A little coin always greases the wheels. How can I argue with
It
that?
can't be helped.
It would seem so.
Nah, I don't think so.
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry?
Yeah.
Both.
You expect me to believe that?
Now please, no more questions.
No, I don't think so.
It is so.
That is so.
How can I argue with that?
It's nice
find that
spending
lying
time
around?
like this,
Must be
just
your
having
lucky
drinks
day.
together. I'm glad you came. Oh, and I've been meaning to give you something.
A little coin always.
A little
Me to believe
token of my affection. It's enchanted. I've made it myself. Because, as you know, I'm well versed in the arcane arts. As long as I'm nearby, it'll boost your magicka and life force. That's the catch.
Let's make some more stories.
You expect me to believe that?
Is this so?
Huh?
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles in gold he had made.
How can I argue with
But
that?
then he
How
grew
we do.
quiet and had no
It would
dread when he
seem so.
met the shield maiden.
What is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
A little
talk
coin
and
always
lie and you
increases
drink love mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed.
Expect me to believe that?
So then came clashing and slashing steel as the brave lass Matilda charged
Not my
in.
problem.
How can I argue with that?
Indeed.
And the braggart
So,
came back and
so.
boastful no more.
Writing song.
When his ugly red head rolled around
John
the
Oh.
floor.
You're writing me a song? Does it
can't be
somehow
done.
involve blood or beheadings? Or the
It's so
Expect me to believe that?
new. I've never really experienced this before. I couldn't talk and jest with the rats and the skeletons in the castle the same way that I do with you. Not even my mother. We were close for a time, but even then, during the good times, I felt there was some sort of rift between us. I can't explain it. With you, though, I feel I can be so open, so happy, so carefree. Come to think of it, I was guarded to you once. I treated you just as I had treated others, with indifference and apathy. I didn't want anything, or anyone, to be close. I didn't know it was possible to feel something for a complete stranger at the time. But the next thing I knew, we were
That is so.
together, sharing drinks, making love in the most beautiful places in all Tamriel. I was already living out my maiden dreams. It might have been, but I don't think that's important here. What matters is that I chose you, and you chose me. None of us forced anything upon each other, rushed or not. It is wonderful to have you. I still have my nightmares. I acknowledge them, but I don't let them control me. Not anymore.
How are we doing over here?
It's hard, but the only thing I can change about the past is how I feel about it in the present. I can't change what happened with Molag Bal. I can't change the... because that happened. You came along and helped patch me up. It was not only you, but you were a big help. I can see what you've given me. Actual intimacy. Not a facade done through the guise of control, domination, degradation. I experienced it as a true blessing. With you. Thank you for that. Hello, my love. You already know what I'm going to say, don't you? Sounds good.
Drink to our youth. to
Hello, my
days
love.
come and gone.
You already know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Just about done.
Not now, I'm working.
Ah, you're always
Drive out
working.
the storm
Why
cloaks
else
and
would I
restore
spend
what
so much
we
time
own.
here?
The blood and our
Mikhail
steel
is
we
quite the
You guessed it. It's not something I'm ever going to get tired of saying.
Got talent.
Let's go somewhere. To the beach, actually. Preferably somewhere along the northern coast. I just want to feel the sand on my feet and the ocean breeze on my skin. That can be the place for our next little date.
That's my girl.
Southern Guard beckons. Everyone
Great. Let's head off.
but this land is ours, and we'll see it white
How are we doing
clean
over here?
of the scourge that has sullied our hopes and our dreams. This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever learned.
I was just thinking about a book I read once. It was by a scholar named Aryo Avelin. He supposedly found a way to create a sentient encyclopedia, if books could even think for themselves. Isn't our soul what makes us sentient? Not like dull automatons or zombies. Or perhaps it's something else. Or a combination of things. Just some food for thought.
You talk and you lie and you drink all of me. Now I think it's high time that you
How can I
lie down
argue
and
with that?
bleed.
I don't think
So then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal.
It would seem so.
You expect me to believe that?
The braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more. When his ugly
can
red
I
head
argue
rolled
with that?
around on the floor.
Yeah.
Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually.
How can I argue with that? Nah,
It would
I don't
seem
think
so.
You expect me to believe that?
I'm glad you're here with me.
It is so.
That is so.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Indeed. How can I argue?
Sure thing.
A little cold.
Do you want to have it standing here, or do you want to find a seat first?
How can I argue with that?
All right. Now, on to the drinks. Do you want to have mead, wine, or just plain milk?
Huh?
Like a true Nord. Good pick.
Yeah.
Likewise. How does it feel to be the mighty hero of Skyrim, distinguished for such tasks as
Nah, I don't
being a
think so.
courier,
Expect me to
being a courier, being a courier, and lastly, being a courier? What? It's
How can I
true.
argue with
Almost everything you've done revolves around that.
I want
Go
to
to
see
this
you when you're
place,
done working.
kill some things,
That is
pick
so.
something up, and deliver it to someone.
How can
I
I
swear
argue
my
with
father is starting to suspect something.
That's your imagination running wild.
No,
Nobody
I don't
This
think so.
isn't necessarily a past journey,
Don't talk about my
but
father like that, John.
I was thinking about
The
this
answer's still no,
regardless.
But tomorrow,
The Civil War.
definitely.
Waking up to this whole mess was truly something I did not expect. I expected a change in who was the High King, but I didn't know that things,
A little coin
they
on
were
this
more
piece of
complicated.
You expect me to
Cyrodiil
believe
being
that.
the seat of an empire, for one.
Nah,
And
I don't
besides this whole civil
Seems so.
contention for Skyrim's land, we have Altmer nationalists eyeing to conquer it as well.
Nah, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
You are correct.
Not my problem.
Growing up back on the island, I barely left the castle.
expect me to
Most
believe
of my knowledge from the outside world came from books.
No, I
However,
don't think so.
most of even that is sadly out of date, by at least several centuries.
How can I argue with
Talk about a fish out of water. That's why I need you to show me around this wonderful land.
That is so.
Yeah.
Be a good guide for this old relic.
A little coin always.
So,
Expect me to believe.
what do you want to talk about now?
How can I argue
No,
with that?
I don't think
It
so.
would seem so.
I don't think so.
Take pity, sir.
Not my problem.
How can I argue with that?
Riverwood. It's just nice, really. Sometimes it's nice to just get away from the bustling cities. A lot of them feel so cramped. The countryside is just different, you know?
So have you spoken to that man from the Bard's College?
It's nice spending time like this, just having drinks together.
Gotten around to it.
Oh, John, stop dallying. You know you have to go.
Down
It's why
with
Mara
Ulfric,
put you on this
killer
earth. You think a
of
few
kings.
miles can
On the
truly
day
make us
of
apart?
your death,
You mean you
will
won't
drink
forget
and
about me the
lose.
moment I'm out of sight?
Nah, I
Get
don't think
yourself
so.
a nice
Children
old
of
rich
Skyrim
I don't think so.
babies.
Sovngarde beckons.
Master plan.
Of
Now I
us
suppose you'll never leave.
Harlot.
But this land is ours, and we'll see
How can
it
I argue
wipe
with that?
clean
Can't be helped.
of the
Not.
scourge that has sullied
Yes.
our hopes and ours.
It
I
would
enjoy
seem
this
so.
work well enough, but I'm ready to retire. I've been thinking of selling the inn to Isolda. Anyway, what do you need?
How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that?
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Nah, I don't think
I'll
so.
show you to your room, right this way.
How can I argue with
Need
that?
something? Oh, did you need something?
How can I argue with that?
It would seem so.
If you need a drink, just holler.
You expect me to believe
Let
that?
me know if there's anything else you need.
If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Sure. My voice could use a rest.
The wheels.
How can I argue with that?
The security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is.
That is so. Nah, I don't think so.
You expect me to believe
Nah,
that?
I don't think so.
It would seem so.
Stay out of trouble.
I'm a bard by trade. Perhaps you've heard of me.
How can I argue with that?
You expect me to
You are
believe
correct.
Yes.
What can I get you?
It would seem so.
It can't be helped.
So,
that? How can I argue with that?
I think I've got some mugs need scrubbing.
Why, John Battleborn, you're writing me a song? Does it somehow involve blood or beheadings or the honor of my forebears?
You expect me to
that's
believe
where it
that?
started. But it turned into something of a ballad.
A ballad? Oh, now I know you're joking with me.
It's all true, I swear it. You can hear it when it's done.
How can I argue?
I'll just
How
need
can
a
I
year
argue
or
with
two
that?
to smooth
Yes.
the rough edges.
I thought as much.
It would seem so.
You expect me to believe that?
It can't be helped.
Yes.
So, Mikhail, what will it be tonight, huh? Something upbeat? A Breton jig, maybe?
You know, hold up. There's this lovely Argonian ballad I've been singing.
We've been down this road before, Mikhail. Save the sap and sadness for your lady friends. My patrons need life, cheeriness.
All right.
How can I
how
argue
about
with that?
the gutter snipe?
Well, that's not bad. But I was thinking Mogo's mead really gets the place moving.
What now?
Well then,
It would
consider
seem
it
so.
done.
You expect me to believe that?
Yeah, good idea. I am kind of sleepy.
How can I
Not
argue
my
with that?
little coin always greases the wheels.
Nah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that? Yes.
It can't be helped. How can I... You with that?
It would seem so.
Yeah.
You expect me to believe that?
Nah.
Huh?
I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
Oh, hey there.
It can't be
You are
helped.
correct. Not my problem. It would seem so.
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
You expect me to
I don't think
believe.
so.
How can I argue with that?
A little coin always greases the wheels.
How can I argue with that?
Indeed.
Nah, I don't think so. How can I argue
You
with
expect me to believe that?
It can't be helped.
Not my problem.
Yes.
that? It would seem so.
No, I don't think so.
Huh? That is so.
How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe
A
that?
little coin always greases the wheels. How can I argue with that?
No, I don't think so.
It would seem so.
No, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
Indeed.
It can't be helped.
How can I argue with that?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Indeed.
It would seem so.
Huh?
Not my problem.
How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that?
Now, I don't think
How
so.
can I
You are
argue with
correct.
that?
Yes.
What now?
A little coin
It
always
can't be
greases
helped.
the wheels.
How can I argue with that?
All right. Got anything good?
You expect
Nothing else then?
Nah, I don't think so.
Indeed.
Not my problem.
It
Now,
would seem
I don't
so.
think so.
Yes.
You expect me to believe that?
How can I argue with that?
Just you and me against the world now.
It can't be helped.
A little coin always greases the wheels.
It would seem so.
No, I don't think so.
Ah, to finally rest up in comfort. What a treat. I'm tired. Warm hearth and cozy beds are so welcome after all this time on the road. Let's just stay here for a bit. Revel in being away from the blinding sun and blistering cold for once.
Now, I don't think so.
I'm glad you're here with me.
How can I argue
No,
with that?
I don't think
How
so.
can I argue with that?
It would seem so.
It can't be helped.
A little coin always greases the wheels.
Yes.
How can
No,
I
I
argue
don't
with
My
that?
problem.
It would seem so.
You expect me to believe that?
How can I argue with that?
Indeed.
Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually.
It would seem so.
Chops and steaks fit for a Jarl. Come and see my selection of finest
Shiny trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great Aorlan Main himself.
It would seem so.
Indeed.
Now,
A few seconds for my supper is all I
How can
ask.
I argue with that?
Those green apples you sold me the other day were delicious.
Aren't they?
crafted by
I
the
always
best
set some aside for myself when the traders bring them.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
You're right.
Nah, I
I'll
don't
have to
think
remember
so.
that the next time I get a shipment in.
I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
It can't be helped.
Chops and steaks fit for a Jarl. Come
Yes.
and see my selection of the finest.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't. Oh, it took years. But I earned
I spend a lot of time at the market stall so I can learn the merchant's trade. I need more experience if I'm going to run a business.
Oh, no, you don't.
How can I argue with
I
that?
teach you to talk to me that way.
Fish and fowl. Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Ah, Isolde, was it? What brings you to the market?
I'm here to buy food, Nazim. I suppose you don't need to worry about that.
Owning a farm does have its advantages.
Ripe fruit and fresh vegetables for
It would seem so. Shiny
It's not
trinkets
easy
for
being
your
around
good
this.
lady.
Still warm from the oven.
Stay still.
How can I argue
And
with
then will
that?
come to respect you. And maybe even favor
Main
you.
himself.
Oh, it doesn't bother me. I think I'm strong enough to get by.
It can't be helped.
Never mind then.
Though, I have certainly seen my fair share of sexist men here. And some of them, well, let's just say they've retired.
Bits and baubles for sale.
It seems
All
so.
crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim. You
Fruit and
expect
fresh
me to
vegetables
believe
for
that?
sale.
Huh?
It is so. Yes.
Can I argue with that?
Indeed.
They say there's nothing a Nord woman can't do if she puts her mind to it.
How can I argue with that?
It would seem so.
Shiny trinkets
Fresh
for
baked
your
loaves.
good
Once I've
lady.
made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda.
I don't think so.
Yes, dear.
I argue with that.
Bits and baubles for sale. All crafted by the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
You expect me to believe that?
No, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
Tired of bread and stew?
Fresh vegetables
Had
for
enough
sale.
of fish and fowl? Treat yourself
Thanks
and
a
your
lot.
kin to a choice
No,
cut
I
of
don't
steak
think
or a
so.
tender rack of ribs.
I'll never forget you. A little coin always greases the wheels.
Yes, dear.
Fresh baked
expect
loaves.
me to believe
Still
that?
warm from the oven.
It can't be helped.
How can I argue?
Chops and steaks fit for a Jarl.
It would seem so.
By the best blacksmith in Skyrim.
You expect me to believe that?
It is so.
These fruits and vegetables are disappointing, Carlotta.
Tired of bread and stew?
fresh from the
Had
farm's
enough of
daily.
fish and fowl? Treat yourself and
you
your
get
kin
enough
to a
of
choice
that?
cut of steak or a
Tasty
tender
sauce
rack
is
of
fresh.
ribs.
Feels good. kind of soothing,
Though
actually.
some company I certainly prefer over others. Have you met Mikhail? The most amazing bard I've ever heard.
I have.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Nothing. Is there anything else?
Oh, well, that's awkward. Sorry to have brought it up.
Anyway, best of luck to you two.
Good to see you.
No, I don't think so.
Can I argue with that?
Nah, I don't think
Shiny trinkets
It can't
for
be
your
helped.
good lady. All crafted by the great Aorlan
Yes.
Still warm from the oven.
It is so.
How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that? It would seem so.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
No, I don't think so.
You work hard enough, you get into a rhythm, everything else just fades away.
Bralia, do you ever deal with the Khajiit at all? I'm sure they would love to trade in your husband's steel.
Plenty of people here
Yes.
need Yorlan's craftsmanship, my dear. We've never had any reason to deal with those caravans of theirs.
Fresh baked loaves. Still warm from the oven.
Bits and baubles for sale. All crafted
Nah,
by the
I don't
best
think so.
blacksmith in Skyrim.
How can I argue with that?
It seems so.
How can I argue with that?
You work hard enough, you get into a rhythm, everything else just fades
No,
away.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
It's...
The finest cuts, fresh from the
Oh,
Hello, friend.
You expect me to do that?
How can I argue with that?
Yes, dear.
My problem.
How can I argue with that?
It can't be helped.
You expect me to believe that?
It is so.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yes?
Bits and baubles for sale. All crafted by the best
You
blacksmith
expect me
in
to do
Skyrim.
that?
Chops and steaks fit for
I
a
don't
Jarl.
think so.
Come and see my selection of the finest.
What's the plan?
Me too. I'm yours.
Just you and me against the world now. Not that I'm complaining. Just standing on the ocean shore. It was my favorite pastime, back on the island. Whenever my father was not in the best mood, I'd run outside and sit by the castle shores, look into the distant horizon. The vastness of the open sea kind of reminds me that my problems may not be the biggest thing in the grand scheme of things. Because there I was, just another little dot on that small island. Hey, I just want to enjoy this moment here with you, us, by the beach, in front of these ocean waves. Just to reflect how far we've gone, how far we've traveled, through the thick and thin, through all the circumstances. A vampire and a vampire hunter, two people that would normally be at each other's throats, now enjoying drinks and kisses by the beach, yearning to spend more of the future with each other. Don't say anything. Just let me talk. I have some thoughts I'd like to let out. I'm so proud of our relationship and how it progressed, despite all odds, both external and internal. I love you. I really do. In the 1,000 years I've walked on Nirn, you are the best thing that's happened to me. Here's to the future, and whatever it may hold. We go through this, and we go through it together. What now?
Me too. I'm yours.
Nothing else then? Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually. Sorry. Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually. So, what do you want to talk about? One home-cooked stew coming right up. Here, a home-cooked stew just for you.
Good morning. Hmm?
Yes? What have you got?
All right then.
Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually. Do you need something?
Need something? expect me to believe that?
I don't.
My problem.
And reshape this land which is mine. For you, Red Legion. My poor Fralia thinks Thoron's still alive, but I know better. Love! Even this land will break down for he saw in us. You expect me to believe that? The future of Skyrim! The future of Tamriel! And there it is, friend. We are the children of man. Talos is the true God of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm. It's inconceivable to our elven overlords, sharing a heaven with man. Ha! They can barely tolerate our presence on Earth! Today, they take away your faith. But tomorrow, what then? Do the elves take homes? Your businesses? Your children? Your very lives? And what does the Empire do? Nothing!
I'm glad you're here with me.
Worse than nothing. The Imperial
Lead on.
forces the will of the Dalmor against its own people. So rise up, rise! There's no telling what it means. My lord, please, you have to listen.
How can I argue with that?
So, where are we off to now?
You expect me to believe that?
I was just thinking, how would I describe you to someone who's never met you? Fearless? Clever? Dashing? No. I think it's your kindness that really sets you apart, actually. You always try to help people,
No.
and it's uncanny how you can always tell when someone needs your aid, too. I never did get how. Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually.
We cannot afford to act rashly in times like this. How can I argue with that?
What would you have me do then? Nothing?
Can't be helped. My lord, please.
What's my problem?
This is no time for rash action.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
Who's this then?
A little coin always greases the wheel.
As House Carl, my job is to deal with all dangers that threaten the Jarl or his people. So you have my attention. Now explain yourself. Whatever you have to say to the Jarl, you can say to me. I'm starting to think...
I want to hear what he has to say.
How can I argue with that?
Sorry.
No. I don't think so.
Good. Kind of soothing, actually.
How can I argue with that?
What's this about Riverwood being in danger?
Alvor? The smith, isn't he? Reliable, solid fellow. Not prone to flights of fancy. And you're sure Helgen was destroyed by a dragon? This wasn't some Stormcloak raid gone wrong?
It can't be helped.
By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
The Jarl of
I don't think so.
will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
It can't be helped. How can I argue with that? No, I don't think so.
It would seem so.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project.
I don't think so.
Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
How can I argue with that?
Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Can I argue with that?
An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
Expect me to believe that?
Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources.
Not my problem. It would seem so.
Argue with that?
I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords.
How can I argue with that?
Oh no. Many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. Hence its name, Dragon's Reach.
No, I don't think so.
Can I argue with that?
Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin. You make an interesting offer. Very well. I'm sure that I can put the extra coin to good use. Wise is the one who spends a few coins now to make a fortune later.
No, I don't think so. How can I argue with that?
Nah, I don't think so.
Can't be helped.
I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense.
Not my problem. It would seem so. You expect me to believe that?
How can I argue with that?
Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
I don't think so.
Can't be helped.
It would seem so.
Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be.
I don't think so.
A little coin always greases the wheels.
I'll put it simply so you'll understand. I advise the Jarl in matters of magic. If the Hold is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical nature, I am called upon to explain things and suggest a course of action. Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. Good day.
This is a priority now.
I don't think so.
Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly,
can't
before
be
it's
done.
Too late. Of course, Jarl
You expect me to
Balgruuf
believe
seems
that?
to have found me an able assistant. I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
How can I argue with that? Not my problem. No,
How can I
don't
argue
think
with
so.
that?
Oh? What is it?
It would seem so.
No, I don't think so.
You expect me to believe that?
Can I argue with that?
What do you have for me? Perhaps something worthy for my royal arsenal?
It can't be helped.
It would seem so.
All right with me.
You expect me to believe that?
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
How can I argue with that?
Not my problem.
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to guess them.
I don't think so.
Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl is not a patient man. Neither am I, come to think of it.
Oh. It would seem so.
It can't be helped.
No, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that?
Nah, I don't think so.
Not my problem.
A little coin always greases the wheels.
How can I argue with that? How can I argue
It would
with that?
seem so. You expect me to believe
Can't
that?
be helped.
No, I don't think so. How can I argue with that?
Nah, I don't think so.
It would seem so.
Not my problem.
A little
Nah,
coin always
I don't think
greases
so.
the
You
wheels.
expect me to believe that?
How can I argue with that?
Right behind you.
Can't be
How
helped.
can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that?
I've always wondered what the Dwemer actually looked like.
I
If
don't
one
think so.
believes Nordsen, they were much like elves, but with beards. But what about young dwarves? Were they indistinguishable from, say, the Altmer then? Maybe there were other differences. Lighter skin tone, or tails?
Nah.
No. Why
I
would they
don't
have
think so.
tails? I don't know. Don't mind my rambling. It's just there's so many artifacts from their civilization, and yet we know so little. What did they look like? Where did they go?
It can't be helped.
Oh,
Feels good. Kind of soothing, actually.
Nah, I don't think so.
How can I argue? How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that?
Huh?
Not my problem.
No, I don't think so.
It's true.
No, I don't think so. How can I argue with that?
A little coin always greases the wheels.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget.
It would seem so.
I don't think so. How can I argue with that?
How can I argue with that?
Mm-hmm.
You expect me to believe that?
Not my problem.
How can I argue with that?
No, I don't think so.
Huh?
It would seem so.
just you and me against the world now.
How can I argue with that?
Me too. I'm yours.
No, I don't think so.
How can I argue with that?
Ready if you are.
It can't be helped.
I might just be a servant among lords, but don't think for a moment I don't take my duties as seriously as the Jarl himself takes his.
Nah, I don't think so.
It would seem so.
How can I argue with my problem?
How can I argue with that?
A little coin always greases the wheels.
It's true. No, I don't think so.
It would seem so. How can I argue with that?
You expect me to believe that?
Nah, I don't think so.
Can't be helped.
Yes, dear.